Hello guys, my name is Bless. Welcome back to the channel today. If you are new to this channel, kindly hit on the subscribe button, share and like my video, and also turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I will post a new video. So today's tutorial will be about the making of this beautiful top that you see displaying out here. So if this is what you are interested in, then keep on watching and let's get started. So guys, these are the things I'll be making use of for this top. I'll be making use of this beautiful African print that you see here. So I'll just go ahead to open it up as you see me doing. Then I'm going to fold it like this. Guys, in order to know the amount of fabric to be in a fold, I'm going to divide my bust measurements by 4. Then I'm going to add some inches to that. So guys, after that, I'm just going to roll a line at the top of my fabric like this. This is going to be my shoulder line and it's going to guide me to take my vertical measurements. So after that guys, I'll start placing my vertical measurements. From that shoulder line, I'm marking down to my bust point, which is 10 inches guys. Then still from the shoulder line guys, I'll take a measurement to the length of this top. I want this top to be 17 inches long, so I added 1 inch as folding allowance, making it 18 inches. So I'll just roll a straight line. So this is my shoulder line, my bust line, and the length of this top. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to go ahead to cut this out, because I'll be cutting the two together. I'll be cutting both the front and the back together. So I'll just go ahead to make a duplicate of this one I've cut out already. I'll just trim it out here. So I have both the front and the back together now. From the folded side of the fabric, I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2. My shoulder measurement is 15 inches divided by 2, that gave me 7.5 inches. I'm just going to mark it there. Then from where I marked it, I'm going down by 1 inch for shoulder slope. So still from that folded part of the fabric, I'm going in by how wide I want my neck area to be. So I want mine to be 3 inches wide. Then I also went down to mark the depth of the neck area. I went down by 4 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to connect from this 4 inches point to that 3 inches I marked earlier with a curve. So from this point, I'm just going to draw a straight line to meet that 1 inch that I marked down as the shoulder slope earlier. Then after that guys, I'll just go ahead to place my armhole measurement. To get your armhole measurement, you are going to divide your bust measurement by 6. Then you add 1.5 inches to that. I did that and mine was 7 inches, so I'll just go ahead to mark out the 7 inches as you see me doing. And this is going to be my chest line. So I'll go ahead to rule a straight line from this second line to this chest line. if I have done that, guys, I'll just take my tape, I'll take the measurement I have there, then I'm going to divide it into 2 to get the midpoint. Then I'll make a point there and go in by half of an inch from that point. Then if I have done that, coming to the chest line, I'm going to place my bust measurement divided by 4. Then I'm going ahead to connect this and this together with a curve. And this will be for the front armhole. Then for the back armhole, from that midpoint, I'm going to connect just directly to the chest line with a curve, as you see me doing. So I'm going to start placing my body measurements now. Coming to the chest line, I'm going to divide my bust measurements by 4. I'll add 1 inch for ease and 1 inch for stitching allowance. So coming to the waistline or the length of this top, instead of placing my waist measurements there, I'll be placing my bust measurement divided by 4. Then I'll add 1 inch for stitching allowance. This is because this top is not going to be having a zipper. So with the ease I have there, I'll be able to wear the top freely. So I'll go ahead to connect from the waistline to the chest line like this. Then I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to cut on the back armhole first, then I'll trim out the front afterwards. So this is it, guys. I'll just go ahead to trim out the front armhole now. Watch closely. I'll trim on only the front armhole now. And after that, guys, I'm just going to label it front and the back so that I will not misplace it when I'm stitching them together. So this particular one is the front part of the top, then this one is the back. You can see they have the same neckline. So placing them right side facing each other now, I'm going to arrange them as you see me doing. Then I'll take them to the sewing machine and stitch down on the shoulder. So I've gone ahead to stitch them on the shoulder. So the next thing to do right now is to fold in the neck area with my bias tape. I'm just going to open it up like this. Then I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and fold it in with my bias tape. Then if you find it confusing, you can go ahead to pin it down before taking it over to the sewing machine to fold it in. So you can see I've gone ahead to fold it in, and you see I also went ahead to iron it out. So I'm just going to keep this aside now to work on the sleeve. As for the wideness of this sleeve, I folded in 11.5 inches. So if you want yours to be wider, you can use 12 inches, 12.5 inches, depends on you. Then I'll go ahead to mark the length for this sleeve. I'll be making use of length 22 plus 1 inch for folding allowance. I'll mark it out in 23. So the length also depends on you. If you want yours to be longer, you can make that longer. You can add extra inches to that, so I don't want mine to be too long. That was the reason I used 22 inches. So I'll just place it this way and cut it out. So as you can see, I have the two sleeves together, so I'll be cutting on them together. So guys, from here I'll just come down by 4 inches as my calf's height, then I'll just go ahead to rule a line across. So you can go ahead to mark your calf's height using 4.5 inches or even 5 inches. So if I have done that, I will come down to that line. I'll go ahead to place my biceps measurements divided by 2. So my bicep measurement is 11 divided by 2. I have 5.5. So I'll just go ahead to place it there. Then from that point I made, I'll connect it to the upper end of this fabric with a slant line, as you see me doing. Then after that, I'm just going to take the measurements I have there, then I'll divide it into 2 to get my midpoint. So I'll just mark the midpoint, then from this upper part I will connect to that point with a curve, as you see me doing. So I'm just going to mark it down like this, as you see me doing. This is for the back armhole. Then for the front, watch how I curve to the front. From here I'll just curve it in behind the point and come out again, as you see me doing. Just watch closely. So the 2 inches allowance I added to the chest line, I'm just going to place it here now. Then I'll extend my line. Now I'm coming to the down of this sleeve. I'll mark out 11.5 inches for the wideness of the sleeve. So like I said earlier, you can go ahead to add or subtract from that depending on how wide or small you want the sleeve to be. So from there I'm just going to connect to the other point I have there with a slant line. Then I'll just go ahead to trim it out. One is for the back armhole, while the other one is for the front armhole. So the only thing remaining for the this sleeve now is the V shape. So from this end I'll come up by 2.5 inches. If you don't want it to be that high, you can come up by 2 inches or 1.5 inches, depends on what you want. So I just went ahead to cut it out now. The next thing I'm going to do right now is to go ahead to open it up, and see me doing. Then I'll just go ahead to place them together, the right sides facing each other. Then after that, guys, I'll just go ahead to take my scissors and trim off the front armhole. Then I'll just go ahead to notch it there. Now I'm just going to use my bias tape to fold in the ends of the sleeves. So as you can see, I've done that, and this is what I have. So the next step now is to attach the sleeves to the top. So if you watch closely, you'll see that the armhole of the front is more curved than that of the back. So don't make the mistake of fixing the back for the front, or fixing the front for the back. So you do that carefully so that you will not make that mistake. So I'll bring out the top and fold it into two like this, as you see me doing. So if you have done that, you can see that the front is more deeper or curved than the back. So with this now, I'll be able to place the sleeve on the right sides. So I just went ahead to open it up like this. Then I pick one of my sleeves. Then I placed the notched area to the place I joined on the shoulder. So I'm just going to stitch from there to the other ends. I'm going to repeat the same thing for the other sleeve. So guys, I've gone ahead to attach the sleeves to the top, as you can see. So the next thing to do right now is to join the body of the top together. So I'm just going to take this over to the sewing machine. I'm going to stitch this down using 1 inch I gave as the stitching allowance. So as you can see, I've gone ahead to do that. The only thing remaining for this top now is to fold in the end of the top. So I'm just going to take this to the machine now and then stitch down about 1 inch. I'm going to fold it this way and fold it again. So guys, I've gone ahead to stitch it down. I've gone ahead to fold in the ends of this top. So I'll just open it to the right side and you'll see how pretty it came out. So with this, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Let me know what you think about this video in the comment section. Also like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that. See you in my next one. Bye.